Hi everyone, Greg from RPM Technik here. Hope everyone's keeping safe and well. I know I've got my knobbly knees on show today, but it's hottest day of the year so far, 30 degrees, which for us in the UK is something of a marvel. Anyway, less about my shorts. We've got two beautiful cars here, and in the sunshine we can see obviously the colours of them coming through beautifully. Both Carrera GTs. And what we're looking at is a standard Carrera GT, if there ever was such a thing. And over here, one that's been rebodied by Zagato. So we had a lovely little event at the weekend showcasing some special Porsches, and this car was on display. And it had a few questions asking why is this special? What's different about it compared to the normal Carrera GT? So I thought, ooh, that'd be a nice little interesting video that people may or may not find interesting. So first of all, Zagato, who are they? Zagato are a coach building firm based just outside of Milan in Italy. They were founded in 1919, still run, managed and owned by the Zagato family, which is lovely. So yeah, been around for a long time. So coach building is whereby people take usually quite an exclusive special car and rebody it to make it even more exclusive. So Zagato have done lots of them over the years, usually always in a very small run. You know, Porsche used them back in the early days with some cars, Aston Martin, Ferrari, all sorts of companies. And if you Google Zagato and, you know, a manufacturer's name, there's some cars that people don't even know existed. And case in point, this one. So the Carrera GTs were built in 2004, 2005, and in 2013 was when these came along. So there was a Swiss collector and rally driver who commissioned Zagato to do the first one, the prototype, which was a GT silver car, because he wanted something that was a little bit different. Obviously Zagato indulged him. So they built one prototype and 5 further cars. So in terms of exclusivity, we are talking exclusive of the exclusives. There was about 1,200 of the Carrera GTs built. So we're talking a very, very small number. So this car was built, sort of commissioned by an RPM Technik customer, which is lovely. And we had a tiny small part in all of that, which we'll come to in a little bit. So this car resides in the UK, as you can see, and we've done a few bits on it over the years. But what we'll do is we'll have a look through the car, and whilst we're talking, we'll obviously compare the differences between the standard and the Zagato bodied one. So this one was done in 2019. And the process took about 6 months to complete. In terms of costings, which, you know, is a very common question, you know, the old adage, if you have to ask, but needless to say, the cost of the conversion, you could quite easily buy a house with. So we'll leave it at that, and you can sort of guess some numbers. So if we start at the front of the car's nose cone, or PU as we call it, has a slightly different angle to it down here, where the air intakes come around to where the front splitter sort of is and would be. Interestingly, the owner of the car says because of the design of this one, it actually gives it a little bit more ground clearance, which is a benefit. The Zagato car is on standard SAC suspension, whereas the silver one behind us, the GT silver one, has the KW HLS4, which is the lift kit on it. So it sits a bit lower because of the design. So we've got a slightly more aggressive air intake, and it's the lovely thing about these Zagato cars. It's very subtle. There's no big wings and spoilers and anything obnoxious, and that's what attracts the sort of real connoisseurs to this and why it's been done. So yeah, very slightly different lip around there, and obviously how it comes around here as well. If we come around to the side of the car, the door, front wing, all that part is the same. Got some really lovely discreet badging, which is the Zagato Z, obviously here. But where it starts to become a little bit more different is when you look at this, what we call from the sort of B pillar backwards. So if we compare it in the video to a normal Carrera GT, as I say, they're not normal, but in this example we're talking. So we have a window here, whereas the standard car doesn't have that. And because of where the window is, it goes into the design of the rear shell that goes over the top of the engine. So in the normal Carrera GT, it stops and goes straight down. And in this, we have a more sort of smoother airflow that goes over the top of the car. Aside from the design of the car being a bit different, it does actually have a small aerodynamic benefit as well, but I'm not sure how much. One of the key characteristics of all Zagatos or Zagato bodied cars, they have the double bubble roof. And again, if you look at that on any images on Google Images, you'll see the same. And the Carrera GT's targa top roofs are all like that anyway, but they pop out just like the silver car. So we can see the rear clam comes back down a lot smoother than the standard car. And instead of having the two open air intakes on the top of it, you've got the central one. But again, some of the real small details when you start looking closely is you've got this lovely little vent cut into the top of it here, obviously the Porsche logo down the centre, and also these little exits here for the heat as well, because clearly with a naturally aspirated V10, we've got some serious temperatures if you're going to use the car properly, and they obviously need to still escape. So as much as the design is beautiful, it's functional as well. At the back of the car where the exhaust is underneath here, still got an air exit on the top here, but also this little panel here is just slightly differently designed compared to the standard car. And then most notably on the back of the car, the bumper, the rear assembly of the bumper is different too. So we've got the GTZ badging. The exhaust tips are a different design to the standard car as well. And then where the rear bumper comes around to the diffuser, obviously it's slightly different as well. One nice little touch I like is where the reverse lights have been incorporated in here at the bottom, which is real neat and tidy, nice little design. So exterior wise, obviously it's subtle, but there are some really lovely small tweaks. The standard car, the normal Carrera GT, is carbon panelled, and this equally is also made in carbon panels as well. I should say after the run of the 6 cars in total, there are no more that Zagato will ever build, which obviously aids the exclusivity. If we go on to the interior of the vehicle, it was optional, but the owner of this car decided to do it, was to have it retrimmed. So we've got some beautiful matching leather to the exterior of the car. So we've got on this one the A-pillar that's been retrimmed, the knee roll which goes underneath the dashboard, and then also all the centre console has been trimmed again as well. The seats have been matched, and again, the little eyelets where you can put harnesses through if you're going to do the on track day, they've got them done as well. Excuse in the background, we've got a GT2 just going into the workshop. So yeah, some real, again, nice little subtle differences, and then the armrest and door caps have had the same thing. So one of my personal little favourites is on the sun visors. They've been trimmed, and just look at the stitching on there; it's absolutely beautiful. It's just small little bits, and that's again what makes a Zagato so special. As I say, not the same that the normal car isn't, but it's just obviously taking it a step further. So hopefully that was of interest. Again, a little bit nerdy, and I think we're kind of getting to a point where we're falling properly in love with the Carrera GT series of cars. But to be able to be trusted with this vehicle is lovely, and it's actually going to be on show at Headingham Hall soon as well. So if you want to see it in the flesh, it will be on display there. The owner's generously lending it to the organizer. So yeah, hope that's interest, and we'll no doubt see you soon.